What happens when your lies catch up to you? What happens when you spend so much time on stories that you lose track of what's real? Jasmine Bleu has been lying through her teeth, and we finally have the receipts to expose her. We knew Mendeecees had his share of drama, but who would have guessed that she would become entangled in this mess? Jasmine is going to learn the hard way because, of course, the internet never forgets. You won't believe what she has to say about Jasmine's twisted web of deception, so grab some popcorn because this scandal is delivering more drama than a reality TV season finale. Let's get into the shocking truth behind Jasmine's lies. And let's just say that her little fairy tale is falling apart quickly. Leaked DMs, hidden phone calls, and a whole bunch of tea that's about to leave everyone shook. And oh, Yandy too. Buckle up because this tea is scalding hot, just when we thought the mess and Jasmine Bleu drama couldn't get out. This time, the receipts are undeniable. But the real question is why Jasmine Bleu lied and what role Yandy Smith played in all of this. Hold on, because what I'm about to reveal will make you wonder about everything. Let's go back a moment. We all know Ems Harris, the hip-hop mogul reality TV star, and let's be honest, a man whose name stays in drama from his past legal troubles too. His life has been an endless tale of headlines and his roller coaster relationship with Yandy Smith. Then came Jasmine Bleu, a woman who seemed to appear out of nowhere and startle the internet with shocking accusations and claims, and now a web of lies that is finally bringing everything to a head. It all began when Jasmine came forward with some shocking claims about Mendeecees, painting a picture of a covert relationship betrayal. Not to mention the emotional turmoil that sent social media into a frenzy and Teen Jasmine. Jasmine claimed that she and M had been secretly involved for years, detailing lavish vacations, expensive gifts, and intimate moments that supposedly happened behind closed doors. They were riding hard for her, believing every single word that came out of her mouth. But then things started getting weird, statements weren't adding up, and suddenly that story didn't look so solid anymore. This is where it gets really crazy. Timeline, yes, it was looking shaky, and when the internet starts looking into things, you can be sure that the truth is coming out. Sources close to Ems have now come forward, and guess what? They're calling BS on Jasmine's whole story, claiming that she never really was that close to Ems and that she exaggerated their encounters and, in some cases, outright lied about them. The evidence, oh, it's juicy. We're talking about contradicting text messages, altered photos, and even fictitious screenshots that she allegedly used to prove her claims, but this is where things get really messy at Yandy Smith. You know, Yandy has been surprisingly quiet throughout this whole ordeal. Normally, she's the first to respond when drama arises, but this time, there's radio silence, which means something's going on. People are whispering that Yandy knows Jasmine is lying, but she's keeping quiet because she doesn't want to fuel the fire because, after all, why waste energy on nonsense? However, some people think she's simply waiting for the right opportunity to come out swinging. Let's talk about social. There are Twitter threads that analyze every word of Jasmine's Instagram pages that are devoted to exposing the truth. And let's not forget about the blogs because, well, they're having a field day with this. Some fans are calling for Jasmine to apologize, while others are supporting her and believing that there is still truth to her claims. It's a war zone out here, but let me tell you something. Even Welder Jasmine might not have been working alone. Yes, you heard me correctly. There are whispers that someone else has been giving her false information, coaching her, and even paying her to maintain this act. And guess what? Someone close to Ems is being blamed. Could it be an ex-business partner, a disgruntled family member, or someone else entirely, and they appear intent on bringing him down? Jasmine, on the other hand, may be the puppet in this whole messy game. Now, let's talk about these so-called receipts. Jasmine swore aloud that she had messages proving that Mendeecees loved her, but guess what? Experts examined those texts, and let's say, Photoshop is a powerful tool. The messages seem to have been altered with different fonts, timestamps that don't match. And let's not forget, Ems Camp claims they never happened. Jasmine, The walls are closing in on you, and let's not even discuss that supposedly leaked phone call in which Mies allegedly confessed his love for her. According to audio experts, the call sounds manipulated. Could it have been assembled from disparate conversations and changed to fit a story? Ems is probably keeping it cool now that everything is happening. He's been posting cryptic messages that subtly criticize Jasmine, but he hasn't addressed her lies head-on. This means that he's letting the truth speak for itself because Jasmine's credibility is now in ruins and her whole story is unraveling more quickly than she can keep up. However, what really got people talking about her is this. Her ex-friend just came forward and revealed that Jasmine told her in private that she exaggerated parts of her story to make it more credible. And this friend has screenshots of conversations and receipts where Jasmine confesses to faking things to get more attention. It's terrible. So what will happen next? Will Jasmine try harder to maintain the act, or will she come clean before the internet completely turns against her? At this rate, her entire reputation is on the line, and Andy and I are just watching helplessly as she digs her own grave. I know you're all dying to hear what happens next, because believe me, this mess is far from over. And what's coming up? Oh, it's going to get even crazier. You won't believe the extent to which Jasmine went to maintain this lie. We're talking about staged photos, fake documents, and even some shady dealings that could land her in serious legal trouble. Don't worry though, we're going to break it all down next because part 2 is going to be even hotter. So, just when we thought this drama couldn't get any wilder, it takes a turn that nobody anticipated. In utter flames right now, and the tea is hotter than ever. If you thought that Jasmine Bleu's exposure was the height of this mess, hold on to your wigs because this scandal is unraveling faster than a reality TV reunion fight. Now, let's get started. Recall how Jasmine was out here, caught up in all kinds of contradictions, but it didn't stop there. As soon as the first bomb dropped, people began to unearth even more information about her, and let's say that it's looking really bad. There is a completely different story going on behind closed doors, and let's just say that the receipts are available for public viewing. Screenshots, voice notes, screenshots, you name it. The internet detectives have been working nonstop, and they haven't missed a single detail. Now, things get even stranger because Mendeecees, who has been very quiet about this mess up until now, finally decided he had enough. And when I tell you, this man didn't hold back. According to sources, Mendeecees is allegedly saying that Jasmine was never the innocent. He claims that despite her best efforts, she has been acting like a manipulator the entire time, which is why she is now acting out. Let's take a moment to review the timeline. You all recall how this all began when Jasmine made these shocking claims, giving the impression that she had been hiding some dark secrets, but then the receipts began to come in, making Jasmine appear suspicious. It appears that she may have been projecting her own skeletons onto him. It's funny how the person making the accusations always ends up having the most to hide, and let's not forget about Mendeecees. If there was any hope that she and Jasmine could ever get along again, that hope has officially left the building because, according to insiders, Mendeecees is now completely convinced that Jasmine had been plotting from the beginning, and we can't blame her. Can you imagine learning that someone you once trusted was out here planning on? Now that Mendeecees has finished playing nice, your fall is acting like a snake. And speaking of snakes, let's talk about how Jasmine's own circle is turning against her. You see, when people realize they've been duped, they don't just sit quietly. They start talking. Apparently, some people from Jasmine's camp have come forward with some shocking revelations. Yes, we're keeping it cute, but allegedly Jasmine knew her story was at best shaky, but she pushed it anyway, believing she could control the situation. Narrative, she truly believed she could control the internet, but she misjudged the depth of people's research. But wait, it gets worse. There are rumors that Jasmine had a contingency plan in case things didn't work out as planned. Rumor has it that she was preparing to release more evidence to keep the heat off her, but before she could do so, someone in her own camp turned against her. And now the narrative is totally out of her control. At this point, Jasmine is backed into a corner, and it doesn't seem like she has many options left. As a result, the internet has officially turned against her, and the damage control is currently looking really sloppy. The public is seeing Jasmine through the active, and even some of the biggest gossip blogs that initially cited her are now pulling back, realizing that they may have been fed a messy plate of lies. Speaking of lies, let's talk about how Jasmine has been handling everything because your sister is rushing things. She went from making bold claims and standing on her principles to abruptly retracting her claims, saying that she was misunderstood. Oh, how misunderstood, Jasmine, because it seemed pretty obvious from those first statements that you wanted people to think a certain way about me. Now that the tables have turned though, oh, that's not what I meant, girl, please. What's even funnier is that despite all of, there are still some people out there who are defending her, saying things like, makes sense. How are you guys still writing for someone who was caught lying at some point to admit that the person you're writing for just might not be the victim they're pretending to be? And honestly, it's getting real embarrassing. But the real kicker is that this situation might not even be over yet because there are whispers, yes, whispers, that this whole thing is about to take another dramatic turn, such as legal threats, more receipts dropping, and maybe even a full-fledged public statement from Mendeecees himself. And baby, if that occurs, Jasmine's story is over because if he is preparing to speak out again, you can be sure he has something big planned. This drama is getting messier by the second, and we haven't finished part 3 yet, so grab some popcorn because the grand finale is coming up next, and I promise you won't want to miss it. The story couldn't get any wilder, so another layer of madness breaks out. Now that Jasmine Bleu has been exposed for her web of lies, the internet is in a complete panic. But guess who isn't keeping quiet? Mendeecees Smith. When she speaks, she makes sure the entire world hears it, as you already know. While the internet was still analyzing Jasmine's most recent stunt, Mendeecees took to social media, and let me tell you, she wasn't holding back. She went live on Instagram, looking directly into the camera as if she had a mission. You would think that after Mendeecees was dragged into this mess, he would be the one leading the charge, but Mendeecees had it all covered. She started her life in an iconic way, hitting the record and saying, I have stayed silent long enough, but you guys need to hear the real truth. I can't sit back and let these lies spread anymore. At that moment, the entire internet held its breath and wondered if she was going to reveal something significant. Call out Jasmine. We're not sure who exactly was giving Mendeecees this information, but CIS was ready, so she began scrolling through her phone and reading out messages. Let's just say that what happened next left everyone in shock because Mendeecees didn't just call out Jasmine. Oh no, she went straight for her credibility. She began by listing all the times Jasmine had been caught in contradictions, pointing out that this wasn't even the first time she pulled something like this. When those screenshots appeared, the comment section went crazy. People were typing so quickly that you thought they were trying to reveal their own FBI files. One of the biggest bombshells was when Mendeecees revealed texts from months ago in which Jasmine Bleu was pleading for influence. Yes, you read correctly. Jasmine Bleu was out there trying to get herself involved in drama for attention. She even implied that she would be willing to say whatever needed to be said in order to get some headlines like what the. I knew something was wrong with Jasmine because the comment section was unforgiving, so I immediately canceled her. However, she's now done with Mendeecees dropping receipts like a grocery store cashier, and I'm here for it. In less than a day, Jasmine Bleu's reputation took a severe hit. People were unfollowing her, dragging her, and demanding that she be canceled. But wait, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse for Jasmine, another plot twist occurs. Remember how had been very quiet all along? It turns out that he was sitting on something important because guess what? He actually had his own receipts. Late that night, Mendeecees posted a mysterious story on Instagram with no caption, just a screenshot of some text. And B, why did it set the internet on fire? People scored the post, analyzing every word to determine its meaning. And then, all of a sudden, he made a full statement. Let's just say that Jasmine was unprepared for what followed because Mendeecees stated bluntly that he has been keeping some things private, out of respect for his family. but he is done with the lies. He acknowledged that Jasmine has been fabricating stories for months, and he has evidence that she has been creating a war zone in the comment section of blogs. As if that weren't enough, Mendeecees returned with another shocking revelation, implying that Jasmine had previously been caught doing this with another celebrity but was able to cover it up. At this point, Jasmine Bleu's whole. The story was unraveling like a house of cards, so she'd attempted to repair the damage by posting a message about how people were misinterpreting her and taking things out of context, but no one was buying it. By the following morning, she had deleted her Instagram comments, and rumors were circulating that brands was quietly separating from her. But just when you think everything is going to be okay, someone, most likely an old friend of Jasmine's, decided to release some old DMs that revealed she had been planning this for a long time. And let's just say that those DMs were not a good look for her. In one message, Jasmine talked about causing trouble and using controversy to gain more attention. Another said, "They eat this drama up. All I have to do is drop a few hints, and the blogs do the rest." Excuse me, so you're telling me that this whole thing was just a game to her? At this point, the internet had enough hashtags to start trending. People were dragging her everywhere, and some even called for her to be officially banned from the industry. As for Mendeecees and Mendeecees, well, they were doing great. Mendeecees was busy just sitting back and watching Jasmine Bleu's empire of lies fall apart in front of her eyes. The lesson here is that you play dumb games to win dumb prizes, and Jasmine Bleu just won the biggest L of 2025. But what do you all think? Will she try to recover? Should Mendeecees and Mendeecees take legal action? And most importantly, whose? Jasmine Bleu believes she could play the game and win, but the internet never forgets the lies, deception, and clout chasing, and everything fell apart faster than she could turn off her Instagram comments. The real question is, though, where does she go from here? Will she keep quiet and hope people forget? Or is she already planning her next move? Messy move. And what about Mendeecees Smith and Mendeecees? Should they go to court? Should they reveal more receipts? I'd like to know what you think, so please leave a comment below. If you thought this tea was hot, trust me, there's more in store for you. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications because the drama in these streets never stops. Stay tuned, stay messy, and I'll see you all in the next one.